Today I'm going to show you how to recognize fake and genuine old teas. So I have here 3 teas. One of them is genuinely from the 50s, another one should be about the 70s or the 80s, and the last one is fake. The last one has been accelerated, it's called accelerated aging, and it was made likely in the last 5-10 years, it's made to look old. So we're gonna drink and experience all 3 of them, and I will point out what you can do to find out what's real and what's fake, and roughly how old the tea is, also how well it was stored. So let me start by showing you the teas. Okay, here we have contender number 1. You can see this one, it's quite dark. It looks a little bit like a show pour even. This one has undergone quite a bit of natural fermentation. Then here we have contender number 2. This looks a little bit more like a normal aged oolong. And finally we have contender number 3, kind of halfway in terms of how dark it looks compared to the first 2. Here you can see them together. Okay, so I made exactly 3 grams of all of these teas, and now we're going to try them. I want to prepare this tea near to the way in which they would be prepared if I'm drinking it normally. So I'm using Cini purple glaze teapots, and I'm also going to be rinsing the tea first. And warm up the teapot first. So let's get started. So I think it's important to do it in the way in which you normally would, so that you can, when you're drinking tea without not being doing the comparison way, you can actually remember how it felt. So yeah, very simply, just making the pots warm first, emptying them out. Then we're gonna put the tea in, we're gonna make a rinse for each of them. And I'm gonna show you how the rinse looks. And after we've done that, we'll finally start drinking it. So we're gonna make the rinse the same. Let's make it just 15 seconds, just to have something consistent with all 3 of them. Okay, so I put in the water in all the teapots, left it for about 15 seconds. I'm going to empty them, more or less all at the same time. It's okay if there are minor variations of a second or 2, it's not... when you drink the tea, it becomes really, really obvious what's the right thing and what's not. And that a few seconds variation will make a difference. Cool. Okay, so the first tea was the one that was a little bit more dark, the one that looked a little bit more like kind of natural store tea. Quite dark color, no surprises here, even though the rinse was quite short. The second tea, it's quite... quite a bit lighter. Second tea was the one with like bigger leaf, and the third tea was the one with, the third one. Also looks like that. So the second and third looks pretty similar. Now let's smell them, see if we can tell anything. Number 1. This feels like a clean, natural store tea. It feels quite a bit pour-like. There's very little smell in this one, number 2. Number 3 again is more smell, and this one is kind of more distinctive oolong-like. Okay, now I'm gonna make a real infusion, and we're gonna drink it. Now for the purpose of this infusion, I'm gonna make it really long, and I'm gonna explain to you why in a moment. And in order to explain why, first I will tell you how do they do the artificial fermenting. Okay, so you might know how show pour is made. So essentially if you want to mimic what the natural aging process is, you will apply a high amount of humidity and possibly heat for a shorter period of time. So show pour is done, usually the fermentation is done between between 30 and 60 days. And then, however, after that, it's got a lot of woody smell. So you want to wait quite a long time to drink it. When you're naturally aged sheng pu'er, you do not have that problem. So in the same way, when you get all these strange loose leaf teas that are claimed to be 50s, 60s, 40s, 99% of them, they're fake. They're never what they meant to be. If nothing else, because people don't know, like almost nobody, even in Taiwan and Asia, knows how to tell this. This is really, really hard game knowledge. But essentially, it underwent the same process that happened with shapewear. You just make it very humid and possibly also a bit hot for a while. In this case, perhaps you don't do it as dramatically as short as 60 days, but perhaps you do it over 6 months. And then that accelerates the fermentation much faster. However, as you will see, some things remain in the flavor that are really not ideal. And the best way to show this is to make a very, very long infusion, because one of the characteristics of real old tea is that no matter how long the infusion is, it's still going to be extremely smooth and pleasant. So I made a quite long infusion for this. It's been at least a minute. I might want to do an even longer one later. Okay, let's put them in their own pitchers. And we'll see. So the one that was meant to be, I'm not telling you which one is which yet. I will tell you as soon as I drink it. It will be, I will just tell you how I feel when I drink it, and you can make your own conclusion which one is which. Okay, so tea number 1. Let's try it. This splashes up the palate immediately, so that's a very, very good sign. I drink it and it doesn't stay on the tongue, but it splashes up. It's really salivating, it goes down the throat really, really fast. I feel like I want to drink more, very, very easily. It feels really, really natural. I want more. This is really good. And in fact, I do feel like having another cup. Yeah, there's nice density, it's clean. It is obvious that, from the color, it is obvious this tea has gone through quite natural fermentation at some point, but it's probably been kept really, really dry for the last 10, 20 years because you cannot feel any storage flavor whatsoever. Now let's try number 2. Number 2 looks like this, looks quite light. What the hell is this? That's my reaction as soon as I have a sip. It's bad. It's really bad. It's got this kind of like chemical feeling on the tongue. And yeah, this is awful. God, I feel like spitting it. It is really awful. It's got like a chemical feeling on the tongue, and yeah, when it first entered the mouth, it has some nice thickness and a little bit of aroma, and you could confuse it for a nice oolong, but my God, this is awful. So you can imagine what number 2 is. Number 3. This is smoother. It's not something like I feel like I want to, get rid of it immediately. But it has a little bit more storage flavors. So despite not being as dark as the other one, as the number 3, as number 1, it has more storage flavor. So this tells me that this has been, it tells me 2 things. One is that it's been stored in a more natural, wet way more recently. And because of that, it also tells me that it must be younger. It's not bad. But neither is very good. Like the other one in comparison, it's amazing. It's actually this one has got a little bit of a tinge of astringency. I can kind of feel a little bit of drying on the tongue. Although the first one was so bad that it might disturb my mouth as well. This one, even though it went cold, still the mouth feels more comfortable, more salivating. It's kind of difficult to get rid of that harshness from number 2 though. Immediately. I'm gonna drink some water and make another infusion, much longer, and see you in a moment. So I made one more infusion of about 2 minutes. I also went to eat a cracker because my mouth was really quite disturbed. I don't think I'm gonna be able to drink any more of this. It's terrible. You should be able to recognize it's terrible. What I'm still surprised of is that people that are respectable sell this. It's like 1950s Baozong. And then when I ask about, but why does it taste like that? They're like, oh well, not all tea is good. Okay, no more said about that. Let's try this one first. You can see this color is quite light, even though it was darker before. So this tea is also not as patient as the other one, which is still going. Number one is still going strong. Okay, so I'm gonna try number 3 first now. So this is a 2 ml steep, so quite aggressive. You will see the truth. Some sweet, but also some harshness. I mean, on a young tea, if you steep it so long, it's expected it will be harsh. However, that's the difference in old tea. Genuine old tea will not get harsh, no matter how long you steep it. There's a few things you can do, but this is maybe the key thing. You get a tea that's meant to be 60s or 70s, steep it for 3-5 minutes. You will be able to tell very, very quickly what is real. Drinkable, not great. Still harsh. Now with number 1, somehow this, well not somehow, but this has the blend of like being dark, medium thick, medium rich, but more importantly salivating. Usually when you get like a dark tea, it's got the storage flavor or the wood away, it makes you feel hot. But this actually makes you feel lubricated. It's very comfortable in the mouth. And yeah, even on a very, very long steep, quite pleasant. There's no harshness coming out. The more I drink this, the better my mouth feels. The aftertaste can be felt all over, here. There's nice thickness. It's not the strongest, it was only 3 grams in a 110 ml teapot, and it's been still quite a long time. But it's very smooth. I can even feel chi from this. In any case, like at this concentration is very, very obvious. This I can't quite drink. This I can, and very easily. It's very, very pleasant. What else can I tell you? Oh yeah, that's one thing. You can take a look at the ring of how the ring. It's kind of hard to see with the other tea because the color is not that dark, but you can certainly see with this one that there is a ring on the outside of the cup that's lighter than inside. That's one of the signs of definitely genuine old tea as opposed to shopu or accelerated fermentation. So this is how that ring looks like. You can see at the edge of the cup, it's a little bit lighter. And yeah, you can also feel the chi from it, which is quite, again, that's another thing of old tea. Old tea will certainly add chi, will certainly have the calming side of chi. And the chi will feel comfortable, not just strong. So like something that's accelerated fermentation or show fermentation in some way might have chi, but it might feel a bit weird. And the other way you can really tell if something was show or made like really to accelerate faster than the ages it's meant to have is because your mouth will feel dry. There will be some dryness and heat left in there, as opposed to the salivating, lubricating liquid quality that genuinely aged tea over a long period of time has. So as it turns out, this number 1 is from 1956 or just a few years earlier. We know this because the factory where it was kept burned in that year, and it was left there. So one of the few rare teas where we have an actual date. We can still tell that this is between the 40s and the 60s by drink it, but we now know it's 54 to 56, almost certainly. With 53 and 52 as the other possibilities. This one didn't have the same kind of Number 3 didn't have the same kind of dating near it. You can still tell it's quite generally old. I would estimate this to be around the 80s. It tastes a little bit too old to be 90s, and but also 70s, not so sure. So yeah, something like late 70s to mid to 80s. That's the most likely for this tea on the right. The problem with the tea on the right is not necessarily the age, it's the fact that it was stored, natural storage, too recently. So it's not being kept dry for long enough. Actually, this tea was even more natural store, but it was kept dry for such a long time. Probably we're talking a good 30 years for now, that there's no storage flavor anymore. There's no storage flavor, there's no storage issue. Well, this one has storage issue, like it's kind of a little bit harsh if you steep it really long. Some of that can be the tea is a bit young, but some of it can also be a storage issue. Right, I hope all this was helpful. It took many, many years and visiting many, many people and buying many, many fake teas. 99% or more of teas that are loose leaf, they're fake. They're not what they say they are. So, I hope this was helpful. It was really hard to gain knowledge. One more thing, here you can see the wet and dry leaf compared. So for number 1, this is the dry leaf, quite dark. This is the wet leaf. Number 2, the one that was definitely fake, dry leaf, wet leaf. Number 3, dry leaf and wet leaf. So you cannot tell too much by looking at the wet leaf, but I just want to show you for a comparison. The only thing you can really tell normally is if a tea has been processed as show or not, but none of these teas have been like full show, so you cannot tell anything very helpful from these leaves.